Hey everybody, welcome to Life on Turkey Lane. I'm so glad you're here tonight. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I thought I would bring you out to the garden tonight to maybe harvest a few things, see what's on the vines and branches and all that, to see what we have. I already have a few things upstairs in the house that I'm planning on cooking up tonight, but I thought I would come down here and look and see if there's anything else that needs to be harvested, because we're going to have some of the harvest for dinner tonight. It's going to be a Meatless Wednesday. I know that's not as poetic as Meatless Monday, but that's okay. It's Meatless Wednesday for us tonight. So come along in the garden, see what we can scrounge up, and we'll take it up into the kitchen and cook it up and have it for dinner tonight. Okay, I'm not going to give you really a full garden tour tonight because I just did that not too long ago. I don't know, it's been a week or so. And so anyway, the bok choy is still growing, and it looks like, I don't know if that's gone to seed, flower. Yeah, that one sure has. It's gone to seed. So I'm thinking I might need to harvest that or something here pretty soon. And then our peas, now, like I explained before, the last time we had a storm, some of the peas broke over, but they seem to be doing okay. And I can see a whole bunch on here that need to be picked off here tonight. I just picked a whole bunch the other day, but these things are growing like crazy. Oh, that one I kind of topped off a little bit. So, but anyway, I'll do some picking of the peas here in just a little bit before we go upstairs. But I'm gonna go back, and I've got 2 small zucchini upstairs already, and I'm just gonna go up and cook those up. I think tonight, even though I try to stay away from fried foods, here's how the little Roma tomatoes are doing. We've got bunches and bunches of tomatoes on the vines. They are looking so good. And some exciting news as we are starting to get some beans now off these plants. See if you can see a couple of them there. Got one here, and now a lot of them are still small, but we've got some that are, I think, on here. I've got a small handful upstairs, but I think I've got a few on the vines here that will may be ready to pick tonight. Let's see, I've got a few there that are getting close to being ready. Now I do look like I've got a little bit of bug pressure on this one here. It's not really doing all that fantastic, but it's still okay. It's alive. And those purple beans are really just so pretty. I don't really have any, it's not looking like I have a whole lot left to harvest tonight. I've got this one. Isn't that a pretty bean? See if the camera will focus a little bit. It's not wanting to focus tonight. Yeah, I got a nice little handful of those beans. And now the spaghetti squash has finally started putting some blooms on. And it had started putting on a tiny squash the other day, but that was the only flower, and there was nothing around to pollinate it, so it dried up and died. But the spaghetti squash are doing well. It looks like we're getting quite a few flowers. And it looks like down there we might start getting a spaghetti squash if that gets pollinated. So trying to keep my eye out on these spaghetti squash because I think I saw some cucumber beetles on them the other day. And of course we don't want none of that. So, but anyway, they're looking pretty good. And I am really, really wanting a spaghetti squash. Now here is the crookneck yellow squash, and we've got a couple small ones started there. And then I wanted to give you an update on my little conjoined twin. The little conjoined twin is actually growing. So probably by the weekend I will be harvesting that, and hopefully we're going to cut it up and eat it. Got an ant there, but so far it's looking real good. I honestly did not think that would grow. And over here we have another yellow zucchini. It's a little bit smaller than the ones I've got inside, but I like to pick mine on the smaller side because I don't like big zucchini. Now, a little discouraging news is all of those in there, little zucchinis, I don't think have been pollinated, and I think they're gonna just drop off and have to be fed to the chickens. But I have a green zucchini down there that's, I might go ahead and leave it on there till the weekend, but it's about ready to be harvested. So we're finally starting to get some of those. So all the plants are looking pretty good. Isn't that that double crookneck squash, isn't that pretty cool? I think that is cool. I've never seen one. I'm sure a lot of gardeners have. I'm sure it's not the most rare thing on earth. But to me, it's neat, and I'm looking forward to harvesting that. And when I do, I think I'll show it to you guys so you can see that it actually did grow and make food. It doesn't matter if it's odd looking. As long as it tastes good and it fills our belly, that's what's important. So I'm going to harvest a few more beans and some peas out here, and then I'll meet you upstairs and we're going to cook some of these things up. See you in a bit. Okay, everybody, so I'm back upstairs and I'm in the kitchen, and man, this is going to be a pretty hefty meal because I've got, let me aim you down here and show you what I've got. I've got 2 small yellow zucchini. Now, like I said, I like to harvest them fairly small because when they get big, they get a little bit bitter and they get real seedy, and I don't like the seeds and stuff. And this is the perfect size for slicing up and frying. So we're gonna pan fry these tonight. And then I've just gotta show you this harvest of the peas, because look at that harvest of the peas. I mean, that is incredible. They're, you know, I mean, those things are really just going crazy out there. And so I'm loving this, and we are going to saute these up tonight. Now this is a big old handful of, I've got 2 varieties here. I've got the snow peas and I've got the sugar snap peas, and they both are nice and crispy and nice and fresh, and they're going to be so good. And then here now the bean plants just started producing. So, but I did get a pretty good size handful. And once again, I think I'm just going to saute those up, and with some salt and pepper and maybe a little bit of garlic. And so yeah, and then this is the poblano pepper that I harvested a couple, last night I think it was, or yesterday. And now I probably could have left it on there and it would get bigger, but the plant is still really pretty small. And I think this would have eventually just fell off because it was too heavy for the plant. So I've got that, and I'll cook that a different day. So yeah, let's get started on this. So there's really nothing that has to be done more to the peas. They've been, I've taken the blossom ends off of them, and they've been rinsed pretty good. And so I'm just gonna throw them in a bowl here. And I think I'll use this divided container so that way I can put each kind in a spot here. And cook them up in the pan separately from each other. There we go. That is a pretty good harvest there. And I'm just going to slice up the zucchini. Let me get my big knife. And boy, guys, it is humid out there again tonight, and whew, I am in here and I am just sweating. So I'm just going to cut off each end of these zucchinis. And then I'm going to cut them in about 1/2 inch rounds. 1/4 to 1/2 inch. Not real super thick, but you know, about like this. So, and as you can see now, I'm about at the middle part of the zucchini, and the seeds aren't real big, and they're going to be really good to eat. So, any bigger than this, and they get a little bit bitter and very seedy, and the seeds are, you know, you kind of want to cut them out. So yeah, this is really the first harvest of the season, guys. I'm so excited about this. I can't wait to taste these. I want to see just how much better they taste than the store-bought stuff. So, okay, so we got that sliced up, and now I'm going to dredge it in some seasoned flour, and we'll get this on the stove. Okay guys, so I've got me a little bit of flour here, and I've seasoned it with salt and pepper and garlic powder, and I'm just going to give that a little stir here. Combine that all together, and I'm just going to throw some rounds of zucchini in there, get them coated, and then I'm going to go over to the stove and start some oil. Okay, so I've got my skillet here, and I'm going to put me some avocado oil in there. Or no, actually I'm going to use some of the organic extra virgin olive oil from Aldi. And I can tell you, I did the refrigerator test on this, and it turned solid. So, or pretty solid for most of it. And so it's a pretty good quality olive oil. My burner on like a medium-high heat and get that started there. Okay, now you know your oil's hot when you start seeing like it has like little waves in it. You know it's hot enough, and so I'm just going to go ahead and start putting these down in there. Just going to do one layer at a time in the pan, and as soon as this one side gets pretty evenly browned, golden brown, I'll flip them over, and then we'll put in another little batch. Wish I could find my lid for this bowl, because I would just much rather shake these. It'd be a lot easier, but I cannot find them. And so you don't want your oil so hot that when you put your zucchini in the pan that it really cooks it fast and gets too brown, because you do want it to be able to cook through, and so you want a nice slow like simmer on the oil there. And we'll give these a couple minutes on each side, and then we'll start the next batch. And I will be back when these are pretty much done. Okay, I've got our last batch of the zucchini down here in the pan, and you know what? I can't resist. I'm going to have to take a bite of this. Doesn't that look good? That's hot. I'm burning my mouth. So good. Guys, I'm getting ready to take the last ones out of the pan here. And these are looking really good. Can't wait for dinner tonight. And look, those 2 small zucchinis, look, that made a whole big plate of food right there. Those 2 little zucchinis. Okay, so now I'm gonna get this pan off this burner and I'm gonna go ahead and use another pan tonight. We're just gonna go ahead and be extravagant and dirty up 2 pans. Now I'm gonna keep that burner right about where it's at. And this time for the peas, I'm going to go ahead and use a little bit of butter. Just about a tablespoon of butter there. I'm going to go ahead and just clean out my butter dish. I need to wash it good again. So I'll just use what's in it. And I can put some more butter in it later. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of olive oil as well. I got quite a handful of peas there. And so, okay. There we go. That's good and melted and getting warm. And I'm going to go ahead and add my peas. And I'm going to go ahead and just add both kinds. I know there's quite a bit here, but that's okay. And I'm going to stir them around just a little bit. Let them get coated with that oil and butter. Whoops, I lost one. Hope I don't lose any more. These are wanting to flop out of the pan. Don't those just look so nice and green and vibrant and beautiful? You can see when they start getting warm, they get even more vibrant of a color. And I'm going to go ahead and add, now I don't have any fresh garlic, but I got this jarred garlic, and I'm going to go ahead and add some of that to it. Probably about a teaspoon or so. Stir those around in there. I'm going to add some salt and pepper. And I'm just using my pink Himalayan salt. And I'm going to go ahead and sprinkle a little bit of garlic powder in there too, because I like the flavor. Give them just a little bit of a cook. And now you don't have to cook these very long. You just kind of want to get them warm in that buttery oil. Get those seasonings coated on them. And now I'm going to just go ahead and take those out of the skillet here. They should be all nice and warm. And now I'm going to get my green beans in the pan. I'm just going to, just a little dab of oil there. I only have a little handful of the green beans, or the beans. They're not all green. We're just going to throw them in the pan there. Put a little bit of seasoning on them. Okay guys, and I think that's it for dinner. I'm just gonna put these green beans in this little pan here. That's it. Okay guys, so we're ready for dinner, and I'm gonna plate myself up some, and I'll be back to give you a taste test. Okay guys, so look at that magnificent meal from the garden. Just from our first little, pretty much our first little harvest. That is gonna be a delicious meal. So let me get myself some plated up and we'll give it a little taste test. Okay, so I've got my plate, and now you can see here that the purple beans, they turn green when you cook them. So that way, you know, you might think, oh, those are gonna be weird or they're gonna look weird, but they don't. They look like green beans when you cook them. So let's give this stuff a taste test, guys. I already tasted the zucchini and I know it tastes good. I love zucchini in the summer, fried zucchini. That was a snow pea. Nice and sweet and tender. And then here is a sugar snap. That's fantastic. Okay, now let's try one of these beans and see how it is. Nice and crispy, very fresh. Very good. So there you go, guys. We're eating the harvest. So good. Thank you for coming along with me tonight. I hope you enjoyed our little harvest here and cooking it up, and I enjoyed sharing it with you, and I hope you have a really blessed, wonderful evening, day, whatever time it is you're watching this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, y'all.